Good night, everyone. I would like to start off this discussion forum by thanking to all attendants here today. My name is Laura Sanchez. I am 7th semester, study French and Portuguese, and I will sit in the moderate position to lead the discussion to a conclusion that will be useful for all of you and understand how globalization affects the development of our everyday activities and how we can work our way through it to get the maximum advantage for us and those who we influence the most during our lives. Today, I have gathered two mostly opposed texts on globalization issues, represented by Julie Bastos Mongi and Diego Castaño. Let's hear from the discussion members themselves who they are and how their positions are like.
Hello, Laura and Julie. Laura, thanks a lot for the introduction. Um, I have been surrounded, thing that I acknowledge as positive by the results, products, and byproducts of a globalized world. Even though, as a young adult living in a rather retired town away from my main city centers, I was able to enter a path of cultural and material discovery of many things related to other countries and people. My way into all of this was actually by learning languages and getting interested by extension in these latter years in many work and academic opportunities. This is by no means all that there is about globalization, but don't you think, Julie, that this feature about opportunities for education and better jobs, this feature cannot be valued enough at present?
Well, first of all, good night, good evening. Um, I, on my side, do not discard the fact that the globalization of technology has granted millions of individuals the access to opportunities as you described. But I cannot help to adventure the moving thought that coverage of technology is still scarce, in addition to the fact that education needs to be supported by a strong political environment where recognition is given within institutions and society. This is a combination of elements I think you are not taking into account.
I think Julie makes a very good point here. Technology is not enough to make this kind of education opportunities. Crucial since the political and social frameworks need to include and acknowledge this process for them to be effective. If by laws and regulation a society does not achieve the integration of the newly educated individuals, then there will be the stagnation in growth. Uh, how do you think that the globalization process in Colombia affects specifically in the education area?
Well, my position here is more realistic rather than negative. Colombia has low levels of education and even illiteracy. Globalization is happening now, but we need to re-educate our country before advancing any other step. And it's no lie to anyone that the education system of our country is below the average compared to other countries. I think the education process in Colombia is low. We need first to train people to teach better and also grant access to better opportunities of study.
Thanks, Julie. And Diego, what is your opinion?
Yeah, I get Julie's point very well. In this case, I need to admit that my positive view has a lot to do with the people who already have access to many of these technological gadgets and devices. But I was not taking into account the most rejected part of society, is where a lot of the work still needs to be done. All of this makes me wonder, what is the actual connection between culture and globalization? I have been living in a mixture where I often challenge myself to really know which cultural products are from Colombia and which ones from abroad. What do you think, guys?
I think that a people move from one country to another. Varies between various cultures tend to decrease. This has resulted in tolerance and openness towards other cultures. This has also facilitated communication between different cultures and hence nations. It has also led to a reduction in wars. In relation to the competition in the market has increased due to the rapid globalization. Producers have to price their products competitively in order to remain in the market. It has become a boon to the consumer as he can get better quality products at a cheaper price.
Yeah, in my personal opinion and empirical research, we are definitely in disadvantage to other countries with low labor costs. And I'm referring to China and India specifically, where the higher labor are able to develop many things that we use in our country and that can be easy to mix up with the things made here and for an even lower cost. I mean, you can find things made in our country which are more expensive than those from abroad, and they are exactly the same. I think this is making us lose our concern for the development of our local emerging economies.
Yeah, this discussion was very interesting. So, yes, guys, this is indeed a very complex issue, since globalization on one end of the spectrum really has to do with many other elements of the societal, cultural, political, and economic life of the world. It is a whole mixture that needs to be taken into account. Um, in our particular case for this discussion, in education opportunities, we need to note that it cannot be just looked at from a singular perspective, but it is necessary to consider all the factors that play a role. Globalization is a chain of processes that involve a prior understanding of the needs and actions to be taken with the purpose of improving the usefulness of a country to compete with international businesses on the globe. So we just wrapped up this discussion. We hope as a group that everybody enjoyed it, and yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.